All right, Sistas fans, now in this particular video, this topic might seem a bit hard to discuss for some, but we're talking about hey, what if Karen lost her baby? Now, let me just say up front, this isn't me like being disappointed, like, damn it. Okay, so Novi said that she's going to have a baby bump in season 7, so Karen didn't lose the baby in the fire like a lot of us thought she would. Honestly, I've known this for quite a while that she wasn't going to lose the baby due to the fact that there was that, what was it? A character bio from season 7 of a doctor she's going to visit about the DNA and whatnot. And, yeah, so Karen, in terms of the series as it is already written and filmed, she will not be losing her baby. So for those who think, oh, when she inhaled all those fumes and passed out and yada, yada, yada from the fire, no, Karen has not lost a baby. All right. So just let that sink in. This particular video is talking about the potential story beats that I feel might have actually been utilized in the story had she have lost her baby. Now, it wouldn't, honestly, it's not that morbid when you think about it, because her losing an unborn child as a result of the fire and whatnot isn't the worst, quote unquote, child death in Tyler Perry, history. I think Hannah losing her grandchild when she's trying to, protect him in the restroom of that, rundown motel she was staying in, as Warlock and his crew came in there firing bullets at random. And then she came out of the bathroom holding her dead grandchild's body. That was morbid. That was dark. I mean, when you talk about unborn children being killed, remember Sharon on the Oval as a result of the Rakadushi causing the car wreck, or the truck wreck of Richard, Dale, and Sharon. She lost her baby, off screen. I mean, technically we saw the accident and whatnot, but, 1 minute she's being taken to the hospital, the next minute we see her waking up, and it turns out she lost the baby. Simple as that. I think Karen losing a baby definitely would have had a lot of emotional ramifications, but I think Tyler could have written it in a way where it wouldn't necessarily be, completely psycho Karen. Kind of like Marcy on If Loving You Is Wrong when she lost her child. So let's get into it. And remember, I'm really talking about potential story beats that Tyler could do with the characters. Now, first things first. I think, and this isn't me trashing on Karen, I'm just giving my opinion. I think, and I've said this a long time ago, even when she said she was pregnant, Karen doesn't need a baby. Karen does not need a baby. I think that when it comes down to it, she will resent the child regardless of who the father is. If the father is Aaron, she'll resent the child for not being Zach's child. If the child is Zach's, she will utilize this child in order to make Zach's life miserable because he's moved on and she's not with him. I don't think Karen is in a place to offer the substantial amount of love needed to raise a child because she's too hung up on the man that she let get away, which honestly, she was the one that broke up with him. And then you have this man who does want to give you all the love and affection you need, but you're too worried about what the other man is doing, Zach. And then Karen doesn't take any accountability for any of this. She was the one who had unprotected hookups with both Aaron and Zach. Yet it's always one of their fault. Oh yeah, Aaron, I don't want the baby to be yours because I don't know you well enough. That was one question I was always wondering about. She kept saying, I don't want to have your baby because I don't know you well enough. So was she potentially going to terminate the baby? I don't really know what her plan was with this. Not to mention Fatima's going to get that DNA. Like, I don't care. We already saw what she did with Heather's son. So let's say if the child is with Zach, she will probably swallow that child or something and then get the DNA. And she finds out the truth, all hell's going to break loose. So when it comes down to Karen losing a baby, let's say she loses the baby in the fire. Who's the first person she's going to blame? Probably Zach, even though technically Pam, because remember, even if Pam technically was not the person who started the fire because she left those curlers on, Pam was the reason that Karen went by the salon. Because remember, she sent the videos and whatnot, and then she noticed the curler's still on. There is a good chance that if none of the curlers or equipment were still on, Karen would have just went home as opposed to stopping by the salon. Yes, she kept saying, I'm going by the salon, I'm going by the salon. But I do think she would have went straight home. Because keep in mind that one night where she was just hounding Pam for the videos and whatnot, Pam never sent them. And then the next morning, Pam came in and saw the curlers were still on. Karen did not go. But at the same time, that's because Aaron was there to make sure she wasn't leaving randomly in the middle of the night. All right. Now, when it comes down to that, you know, the show always has a knack for blaming things on good old Zachary. Everything is his fault. Now, I think that things will really only take a turn for the worst for Zach if, you know, after the baby is lost and maybe they can, you know, salvage DNA from that. I think that the baby being Zach's baby will cause a lot of emotional turmoil. Now, this might seem like yet again, oh yeah, here we are throwing Karen under the bus to, you know, enhance Zatima. I think Zach finding out the baby was his and Karen lost the baby would send him, you know, into emotional guilt and whatnot. But I think at the same time, this could be a good thing. Hear me out. If we follow the continuity of Zatima, I think that will be the perfect time for Fatima to, you know, come forward and tell the story of how her ex Ian, she was pregnant by him, but she was convinced by him to get an abortion, and then he left soon after, and, you know, that's why she had her heart broken and didn't want to love again until she met Zach. So I feel like that could be a very, very tragic moment for both of them, but as a result, their relationship could be stronger as a result of that. Now, not that it really needs to happen, but if Karen knew about this, this could also cause her to have more understanding of, oh damn, Fatima, I didn't know you went through that. Because remember when when Karen's mom was asking Fatima, like, so do you have kids? And Karen's like, no, she doesn't. And it's like those snot ass comments like that. It's just like maybe she'll feel a bit bad about it. And as a result, I think that losing that child could actually cause a lot of emotional healing and understanding. And, you know, of course, you know, Karen's going to be going off the deep end because, you know, I've always said that I wanted a child and now she's lost a child. But keep in mind, I think that if Tyler wrote it right, he could actually do a lot of repairs to these characters. Have Karen, after her stint of, you know, the 5 stages of grief, she can go through all of them, but the acceptance is the one I really want to see, where Karen just stops and thinks like, I was the one that ran into the fire. I put my career ahead of my life, and even more importantly, my unborn child's health and safety. And as a result, I've lost it. So I'm going to start looking at life a little bit differently now. Life is too short. I can't be chasing after Zach. He's moved on. I lost a chance with this child, but that doesn't mean it is impossible for me to have another one. I need to figure out who the right man is. I need to find a healthier balance between work and life, in my personal romantic life. Like I said, there is tragedy to be, you know, had from losing an unborn child, but I think Tyler could use it as a reset button for these characters. And hell, it might actually have the other sisters thinking, maybe not necessarily about jumping to have a kid right away, but just thinking about how, yeah, life is short. So, you know, one of our own almost lost our lives. Like, you know what? Maybe I'm focusing on work too much. Or maybe they'll learn to appreciate work more. Like, you don't appreciate what you had until it's gone. Like Sabrina's lost her job. I mean, Danny, she just needs to stop hooking up with men from her job that she meets on the job. And Andy, well, I don't know. We really don't see that much of her working. We do see her working, but not all that much. But, you know, she is smart when it comes to her job. In terms of men, not so much. But I think that a group meeting of the sisters after the loss of the baby would be, you know, interesting. And the one thing I really don't is pointing fingers and, you know, saying that maybe, you know, if such and such had happened. It's like reflecting the reality of the situation that the baby's gone. And they really need to make sure that they're there for Karen. I know they're all going through their own stuff, but I feel like instead of, you know, the guys jumping in there. And I think, first of all, it needs to be clear who the father is. You know, the DNA will tell the tale. And from there, let that person, whether it be Aaron, Zach, or whoever, come in and be there for Karen. But I don't think it needs to be a shit on Zach parade. This man has enough going on as it is. Finding out about a 3-year-old he didn't even know he had. And if he finds out he's not the father of Karen's baby, yeah, he'll still be emotional distraught. I mean, you might think there's a sense of relief there, but at the same time, you know, he'll recognize that it would hurt Karen because she did say she wanted a child. And honestly, Miss Lisa needs to show up because this whole absence crap makes no sense. I think we're in a situation here where Karen losing the child could be a rebirth of the character. That's just my opinion. I really do wish that we would have some way to fix the Karen character. And in my opinion, that would be it. This whole who the daddy, who not the daddy DNA shit ain't it. But that's just my opinion. So thanks so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.